Hello, my name is Elsa and this is Nathan, and we're going to be doing a complete body fitness assessment. Before we start, we're going to go ahead and go over all the tests, and we will go over the consent as well as each test. So today we're going to be measuring your VO2 max with a YMCA 3-minute step test. We'll be measuring his muscular fitness with a push-up test. And then we will also be measuring his body fat percentage using skin calipers and the waist to hip ratio. And so I will go over each test. So with the 3-minute step test, we'll be going up and down on one step for 3 minutes. Then we'll measure your heart rate right after you complete the 3 minutes. And then we will input that to a table and get your VO2 max. Second, before we do that, we'll be doing your body fat percentage using those skin calipers. I will measure your body fat percentage here, and then I will grab here on your stomach, and then we'll also be doing your leg, okay? Then with our push-up test, you'll be doing push-ups for as long as you can until you can no longer complete them or you no longer have proper form. With our flexibility test, you'll be doing a sit and reach test. So you'll be sitting down on the ground and reach to your toes, and then we will calculate how far you can reach. Okay, so before we start that, we are going to go ahead and go over some of the consent. So risks and discomfort. There's a possibility you will become short of breath, dizzy, or lightheaded while performing these tests. So if at all you feel like that's too much to handle, this is a volunteer test. So Nathan is able to stop the test at any time if he no longer feels comfortable. Your responsibilities are to inform us of any health risks that you have, or any heart-related conditions, and Nathan already has gone over that with me, and he does not have any heart conditions that will stop him from completing this assessment. So benefits to be expected are these tests will allow us to assess your physical working capacity, as well as you can also see your physical fitness status. So if you have any questions now or at all during the test, I always encourage you to ask those as we go along. Do you have any questions now before we start?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have you read over this waiver and release. If this is just agreeing that you are attesting that you are going to complete this fitness assessment at your risk of personal injury, okay? So you can sign here and read that. Okay, perfect. So before we get started, I'm going to ask Nathan some pre-test assessment questions. So first question is, what sex are you?
Male.
Male. And your height?
6 feet.
Okay. And then your age?
I'm 21.
21. And then your weight?
155 pounds.
Okay, great. So we are going to go ahead and grab his resting blood pressure first. So I'm going to have you sit back. Perfect. Making sure that cuff is lined up with his brachial artery. Is that comfortable for you? Okay, I'm going to grab my stethoscope here. Okay, so again, I'm just putting that right under the brachial artery here. I'm going to twist this the right way. Just want to check something. Okay, and before we start, I did forget one question. What is your goal in terms of aerobic fitness, weight management, or muscular endurance or strength?
Muscular endurance.
Okay, I will circle that goal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this blood pressure. Making sure I can see that odometer. Perfect. Okay, so I got 118/75. Perfect. That is a healthy blood pressure. So now we're going to go ahead and get his resting heart rate. So to do that, I'll just start my timer for 30 seconds. And I'm just resting my fingers right below his thumb here. So if you can hold it up here so she can see, just right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start my timer for 30 seconds. Okay, so I got 33. I'm going to multiply that by 2, giving us a resting heart rate of 66. Okay, I'm just writing that down. So now we're going to move on to our first assessment, which is the waist to hip ratio. So I'm going to go ahead and scooch this camera back. Okay, and then Nathan, I'll have you go ahead and stand up for me. I'm gonna grab my... Okay, and then if it's all right, I'll have you remove your shirt. Okay, so to measure his waist, I'm going to just be looking for the narrowest part here. And then to measure your hips, I'll be looking for the widest part on your hips. I'll have you go ahead and scooch a little more forward for me. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go behind Nathan. Okay, and then go ahead and raise your arms for me. Perfect. So again, looking for that narrowest part of the waist. It's easier to see that from the back. All right, so it looks like we got, go ahead and breathe out for me. Good job. So we got 26.5. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time to make sure we're being accurate. Breathe out. Okay, and that was 27.4. Good. I just wrote that down. So now we're going to go ahead and do the hips. So go ahead and raise your arms to me. So I'm looking at the widest part here. I'm going to have you stand this way. Perfect. So widest part right there. So I'm going to come around you here. Good. Okay. So I'm just coming around the side. Widest part looks like that is 36. Good. Okay. And then we're going to do that one more time for accuracy, and then we'll get the average. Just want to make sure it's not twisted. Okay. So I have 35.9. Okay. I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going to get the average really fast. So that's 35.9 plus 36 divided by 2, which is 35, or that will be 36 even actually. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to grab that waist hip ratio. So the average from the first one was 26.4. So waist will be 26.4 divided by 36.0. So it looks like our waist to hip ratio is 0.73. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at my table. Okay, so Nathan is at a very low risk here for any disease, so that's great. So now we are going to be doing his skin fold assessment. So I'm going to have you still be standing right here. I'm going to grab my highlighter, which is there. Okay, so before we go ahead and do the skin folds, I'm going to go ahead and mark the places with an X that I need to do the skin folds on. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my tape measure. So first place is going to be the midpoint between the nipple and the armpit here. So I'm just taking my measuring tape, measuring, so that's exactly 4 on the dot. So I'm going to mark it with an X at 2. 2, perfect. And then next point, it's going to be 1 centimeter from the belly button. Okay, so it's pretty close, just right there. Okay, perfect. And then we'll be doing the leg. So go ahead and lift up this leg for me, and I am doing Nathan's right side. Sorry, you can hold on to my shoulder. Yep. So I'm looking for that inguinal fold here. It's a little bit, I'm gonna go into your pocket, if that's okay. Okay, so I have that individual fold. Go ahead and drop down. Grabbing my measuring tape, just putting my finger where I'm supposed to measure, and then I'm going to measure all the way down to his patella. His patella's right here. That was 17, so midpoint is going to be 8.5. So midpoint is right here, and I'm going to lift up your shorts, making sure that I have that point still. Perfect. 8.5. Okay, I'm actually going to leave that up, but that's okay. All right, so now we can go ahead and start doing those skin folds. So first spot is going to be a diagonal fold. I'm having my fingers grab with a C here, Nathan. So it's a diagonal fold. I'm going to pinch, and then when I feel that muscle leave my fingers, that's when I will go ahead and measure, and I'll hold my skin calipers for 2 seconds, okay? So I'm doing this, measuring 1, 2, so we have 8 there. I'm going to measure that. 8, okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to his tummy. So I'm measuring here, and then go ahead and make sure you're just relaxing your body for me, okay? Good. Okay, next one. So that was 14. Actually, I'm gonna 1, 2, do that again. So that was actually 13. Okay, and then we will be doing our thigh. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I have that fixed. So I'm again grabbing like a C here, and then I'm gonna measure it just like there. Sorry if that hurt you. Okay, letting that muscle leave my fingers. 1, 2, 15. Oops. 15. Okay, and then we will go ahead and do all those one more time. Okay, so diagonal fold again here. Make sure you're relaxing. Okay, 1, 2, that was 13. Again, oh no, that's not right. Actually, I'm going to do that one more time because it looks like I got quite a bit different answer. Yeah, 1, 2, that was 12 actually. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the abdomen. So I'm just pinching here, relax. 1 and 2, 15. Okay, now we'll be doing the thigh one last time. Relax. 1, 2, 15. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and average out all those numbers. So I'm going to say so for the chest, our average was 9.5. Okay, our abdomen average was 13 plus 15 divided by 2. So it was 14 for our average for the abdomen. And then for our thigh, the average was 15. We got the same number for both of those. All right, there are numbers. So now I'm going to add those up. So that adding them up, it's going to be 9.5 plus 14. Plus, you can sit down if you need to, Nathan. Plus 15 again. Okay. Yes, you can put your shirt back on. So the sum of all of those was 38.5. So now I'm going to go ahead and look at my table here. So on my table, when the sum of our skin folds, so you are 21 years old, so we're looking in that rate, the sum of our skin folds was 38.5, giving us a 10.7% body fat. And then I'm going to go ahead and look at my table here for body fat. So I'm looking at the table for men. So let me go ahead and, so it was 10.7. So it looks like you are in the excellent range. So your body fat percentage is excellent, meaning you are not at risk for any health disease at the moment.
Okay.
Good job. Okay. Yeah, so excellent. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our YMCA 3-minute step test. So I'm going to go ahead and describe that process to Nathan, and I'm going to move this camera so that you can see our little makeshift step that we've made. So we have measured this out, and it is 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and start this manometer. So I'm going to go ahead and start that right now before we start. So Nathan, what you'll be doing is I've set this pace at 96. You can see it right here. It's backwards, but it's 96 here. So Nathan, you'll be going up, up, down, down, up, down, down. And you'll be doing that for 3 minutes. So I will also be having my timer here as well. And then we will go ahead and
Measure my heart rate.
Measure your heart rate right after that. So go ahead and get started, or sorry, hold on one second. I'm gonna start this pace.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you kind of actually one more time so it's, you can see how it's up, up, down, down, up, down, down, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my timer. So I'm gonna go off the timer here on the camera. So we are gonna leave at the 17:20 and ready, set, and go. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Good. Good job. So we started at 17:20 and we will end at 20:20. Up, up, down, down. Good job. Okay, make sure your feet are stepping with the rhythm. Yep, good job. And then we don't. Good job. So you are about a minute in. Good job. Try not to hold on to anything if you can, but if you need to, that's okay. If that's moving, then I can. There you go. Good job. Up, up, down, down. Up, up, down, down. Good job. Keep going. So we have about a minute and 20 seconds left. Good job.
No, fix the book again.
Okay. Go. Good job. Good job. Up, up, down, down. Okay, you only have 20 seconds left. Ten seconds. Three, two, okay, Just sit down, sit down. Okay. And then, good job. And then I'm gonna go ahead and measure his heart. Oh, gonna get the timer. Okay. Okay, so I got 82. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. And then I'm gonna put that in our table. So we're looking at the category for 18 to 25. So 82 is in the good category. So you have a rating of 80%, which is great. And then you are in the good category. So that's wonderful. All right, so now we are going to move on to our muscular fitness test. So I'm gonna actually,
This is the last one.
we have one more after this one, and then we're done, and it's just the flexibility assessment. So I'm gonna make sure this camera's a little bit further back for this. Okay, so to do this one, Nathan, you will be doing your, you'll be doing your average push-up. So instead of having our elbows come out like you may be used to doing push-ups, we're actually going to do more of a tricep style push-up. So your elbows are going to be going behind you, and then as you are pushing up, we're going to have you exhale. We're trying to maintain a neutral back. We're bringing our elbows down, and then we'll breathe on our way back up. Okay, so you're going to be doing as many as you can until you can no longer continue,
Okay.
or you are no longer maintaining proper form. Okay, so you can go ahead and go where I was.
You're
And then-
ready to screen.
Okay, and then you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Good job. And we want your chest to touch the floor each time. Chest to touch the floor. Is your chest touching the floor? Yep, there you go. Chest is supposed to touch the floor. Okay, I got 36, so that is great. Good job. So I'm putting 36 in, and then let's look at our table. Good job. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Push-up test. So you were right at 36, which is the excellent range. So good job.
Where is that?
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to do the last test, which is our flexibility assessment. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly, just because I had to use our tape for the waist to hip ratio, I'm going to go ahead and put our tape just like so on the ground, and I'll make sure the camera can see it as well. But I'm just putting a piece of tape where the 15-inch mark is. Okay, just like that. And then 15 is right there. Okay, so can make it so that the camera can see. So The tape is right where the 15 inches, right there, and then I'll straighten out that last bit. It's kind of hard to see here. There. Okay. So take this here. So Nathan, I'm gonna have you. Okay, you can come forward and then sit down back until your heels touch right on this tape. Perfect. Okay, and I'm gonna have you spread your legs out a little bit just so I can see that tape. Perfect. Okay, so with our sit and reach test, I'm gonna show you. So as we reach, I want you to breathe out every time we reach. So we're gonna be reaching 2 times.
Okay.
So I'll have you do the first one, and you go, and then it will be the same thing for the second one, okay?
All right.
All right. And then I'm going to measure right up. I'll tell you when to go. All right, go ahead. Okay, great. So you are at 13.5, and then you can come back. We want to hold it for 3 seconds, and he did. Okay, and then we'll do it again. Okay, so that one was further. That was 14.5. Good. Good job. That's another inch. So we're going to average those 2 out. The average of those would be 4. Oh, we actually are going to do it one more time. We're doing it 3 times. Good. That was even further. So that was 17. That was a really big difference. Good job.
Oh.
Good. Okay, so now I'm going to average all of those out. Okay. Okay, so I'm doing 13 point, oops, that's not the right one. So I'm doing 13.5 plus 14.5 plus 17 divided by 3. So our average was, oh, nope, we want our best score. So our best score is 17. And then our percentile, so you are in the ages of 25, so 17. 2 inches. So you are at in the 50th percentile. Okay, which isn't terrible, but we could work on our flexibility a little bit and improve in that area. But other than that, your total overall fitness is stellar, really. Other than the flexibility, you are considered above average. So do you have any questions for me?
No questions.
Okay.